Yeah, it's like the Federal Reserve having 17 letters and that connection with the number 13 and 17. And as far as I understand, the Illuminati and all these secret societies do have, obviously, your numbers are, very symbolic in the occults and that type of stuff. But Novo Ordo Secularum, however you pronounce it, 17 letters, and that link with Harriet Tubman passing away in 1913. And then in 2030, there's this proposed idea that Harriet Tubman's image is going to get put on the dollar bill, the $20 bill, where Andrew Jackson is now. Andrew Jackson also 13 letters. On the back is the White House, 13 letters. Now this proposed thing, Andrew Jackson may be taken off and Harriet Tubman's image will be put on the $20 bill. Now to me, that is something that it wouldn't be an honour for a person like Harriet Tubman. It's not something that she would want. It's not an honour, is it, to be put on, on money. So there's obviously another meaning behind why that proposal could happen. If it's going to happen, there's got to be another reason. Like, to me, it's symbolising. It's symbolising that money with Harriet Tubman's face on, that money will be invested in the areas of artificial intelligence, and that money will be used to bring accountability, to bring the balance between good and bad. Because in 1945, the West were the good guys. We were the peacemakers. We brought the Nazis to account. We brought the Nazis to book. Who holds the power structure to account? When they are the judges, when they are the United Nations, when they own everything, they're in control of everything. Who holds surely got to be accountability. Because can people really benefit from things, from doing like taking so much? Can you really sail off into the sunset by the way you? Do you understand? It makes no sense to me. There's got to be an equilibrium. There's got to be a balance. There's got to be a rise. There's got to be a fall. Then there's got to be a rise and a fall. And Harriet Tubman having 13 letters, it connects to the Civil War. It connects to Abraham Lincoln's 13th Amendment. It connects to civil rights. It connects to women's rights. It connects to all these historical things. I'm seeing historical things come to the forefront, just like the release of the JFK files. Just like. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are coming to the forefront. It's almost like the human story, it's coming to its conclusion, it's coming to its finale. I'm just going to see if I can speak about what a recent, it's like that link with Keir Starmer being born on the 2nd of September 1962, and where we are today with the rhetoric of the Cold War and nuclear war, and Vladimir Putin, 13 letters. John Healey, born the 13th of February 1960, Defence Secretary. just where the future of artificial intelligence is, is going. It's like United Kingdom 13, West Yorkshire 13, District 13, reptilians 13, all these 13s. I mean, this annoys me because, yeah, it just annoys me for lots of different reasons. Mahatma Gandhi 13 letters. Salman Rushdie 13, his book Satanic Verses were banned in 13 Middle Eastern countries. He was voted the 13th best author by the Times in 2008. Cyrus the Great, also known as Cyrus the Elder, King of Babylon 13 letters in all three names. The Middle East 13 letters, Earth 13,000 kilometres in distance. Marilyn Monroe 13 letters, last photo shoot 13th of July 1962. The Illuminati was founded in 1776, the 13 colonies as of 1775. And it was the Rothschilds that bankrolled the Bank of England. Illuminati 13, bloodline families, Bank of England 13. I've never heard, and this is what I was saying. I've heard of the 13 with these type of ruling type of families, but I've never heard of the number 17. And I think to myself, well, maybe they don't want to tell people about number 17. Maybe that is a secret. Maybe that's the point of the secret societies. Some things they don't want to tell you, maybe. Why have you not told anyone about number 17? Because it's a secret. We are a secret society. We can't give all the secrets away. I mean, we can give certain things away just to get you thinking, all that type of stuff. We don't tell you everything. You're not privy to such information. What do you think this is? You think you get to come into my house, look through my drawers, to find information that I don't want you to know? That's a bit stupid. You think we're stupid? You really think we're going to show you behind the veil, the real veil? No, we'll show you behind the veil, but we won't show you the real veil. There's a veil behind the veil. We'll open the veil that you think is the veil. You'll think there's no other veil, but there is another veil. So you'll get to see a little bit. I mean, not much, but just enough. But there's another veil behind that. And that's the veil you're not going to see. What I found interesting, the multiverse, I'm not going to start to talk about the multiverse, but I'm just going to I'm just going to say this. I was watching the news last week, and it was on the news that NASA have discovered an asteroid. They discovered it in 2024. Now, apparently, this asteroid is going to be on a near collision course to Earth in 2028. But that's not the major problem. The major problem with this asteroid in 2028 is when it returns 4 years later. Now, I watched a documentary, I watched something with Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about the asteroid Apophis, named after the mythological, Greek, god of darkness and god of destruction. And this asteroid, Apophis, was discovered in 2004. But it's a very similar type of thing with what's going to happen with Apophis, as this asteroid 2024. Now Apophis is predicted on the 13th of April 2029, but that's not the real danger for the Apophis asteroid. It's when it returns, I believe, 6 years later in 2035. It's a very similar model of asteroid, like the news I watched the other day, talking about this asteroid that they discovered in 2024, and it's on a near collision course in 2028, but 4 years later will be the problem. It's very similar to the asteroid Apophis. In close proximity to the time it's going to hit the Earth, and the danger is when the Apophis asteroid type of returns 6 years later. And the one I was watching the other day talking about the asteroid in 2028, there was no mention of Apophis. Absolutely no mention whatsoever. So you think if there was two, it's like the Apophis and this one they've discovered in 2024. It's too close together, as it being another discovery of an asteroid. It's not like they discovered Apophis in 2004 and then they discovered another one in 2024. So there's two asteroids that could be a problem. It's almost like two separate stories, two separate dimensions. Like the one talking about 2028 asteroid is not the same reality as the Apophis that will be on a near collision course in 2029 because they're too close together, aren't they? Not only are they too close together to be in the same reality, but just the fact that it won't be the day that will be the problem. It's when it returns, in 2028, 4 years later, and the Apophis, 6 years later. Makes no sense. Anyway, I'm not talking about the multiverse in different dimensions because if I do, I'm just going to sound absolutely incoherent. It's like all this stupid people. I don't take it seriously in the sense of wanting this to be heard in a serious in a serious type of sense, because no one is here to prove the nature of reality, are they? No one's here to prove the matrix. It's like even if I did this if I did this theory in a chronological order, going right through, if I did this through a chronological order, right through history, in such detail, of all these connections, in a day to day, year for year, in a chronological order, up until the present time, do you really think that's going to make a difference to the nature of reality? You think anyone's going to prove, it makes no difference, does it? Because all this will be erased, and then another person could come along, go through the exact same thing. So this is why I don't take this seriously. There's nothing to prove here, is there? I don't sit down thinking about this. I don't try and write it in a chronological order, because I'm wasting my time. Nobody cares what I've got to say about anything. No one cares about theories or anything I've got to say. It's part of my frustration. I post it on social media, and nobody bats an eyelid. It's not that they don't understand in a lot of situations. It's not that they don't that they don't get it. They're just not interested. People aren't interested in theories and this type of they just don't care for it, do they? It's not that they're not clever or they're not, up to my fucking intellectual fucking ability, which obviously I'm not. No one gives a shit about theories and, and evidence for this or maths this and bollocks that. Nobody is proving the existence of a God, because how would that be? So, someone proves that God, exists. And then everything that happens, then you've got someone to go to, haven't you? You got someone you got someone to blame. You've got someone to ask questions. It would defeat the purpose, wouldn't it? So me sat here talking about this and that and theories on this. I'm not interested. Got better things to be doing. There's a difference between not being interested and not wanting to talk about you people, is what I'm trying to say. It's not an interest for me for other people to be interested in this. It's not an ambition of mine to want people to find it incredible. It's not something I want people to believe, if you understand. That is what I mean by I'm not interested, as in, this is not something that I'm, like, being serious about. I'm writing these things down and, people must read this. It's evidence of God and I want people to believe it and all that. That's what I mean by I'm not interested. I find this thing interesting, as in, knowledge and insight and, gods and all these type of things as a separation. But all these things and theories, I can't part my actual reality. I can't part, this being a real situation with real people and, serious things. This is not something that is normal, where I've got a 9 to 5 job and I've got a normal life. I've got a family. I can go out for a meal, I can switch off, or I can go on holiday. Just like a lot of people out there who have these type of interests in, whether it's academia or, in this type of area, where they can read and learn and watch and educate themselves and talk to their friends, debate, where they're in that environment, or they can write books and release books. This, for me, is completely separate. I can't separate finding this interesting, finding theories on life and our existence, where once upon a time those were an interest. I can't switch off, can I? I've got no outlet, I've got no one to talk to. I'm not crying about it, but I've got no outlet for absolutely any of this. So all these thoughts and theories and the type of matrix, I just don't care in that sense. I mean, the multiverse, nip that in the bud. Notice the pattern. You're going to start talking about the multiverse and you're not going to be able to because you've not thought about it properly. If you're going to talk about the multiverse, sit down, put it into some kind of order of where to start with the multiverse concept. Don't talk about it. Don't try and say things while thinking at the same time. It's fucking impossible. But I do believe that's part of why I don't write it down, for this very reason, to sound incoherent, to put me in this trance-like state. Like, not to want to talk about it, but feel like I'm being controlled, so that it's a battle of the fucking minds. And that's why I don't write these things down in the chronology, because that would defeat the purpose. It's why I can't, do the most logical thing, just to stop talking. I just read my books or watch programs. That would defeat the purpose. It would defeat it would defeat going from dimension to dimension. If I actually could make sense of it, it cuts a lot of things out. It cuts the prelude out, it cuts the narrative out, it cuts what's being presented out, it cuts our sound out, doesn't it? It's why I'm so obnoxious and arrogant and this venomous type of tone, because I think I'm meant to be disliked, I'm meant to be hated. Not a belief, just a fear. I don't have beliefs, I have theories. Sometimes I'm convicted with things, other times I'm not. Like, we are in a highly advanced simulation. That is a fact. We have no free will and choice. That is a fact. Because you do not have the structure of the numbers by probability with all the 13s, and then outside of that have free will and choice. It's absolutely impossible. It's illogical. It's part of my frustrations. It's part of why I have this subconscious of getting annoyed. Like when people assume I'm a retard. But assuming I'm a retard for different reasons than I think I'm a retard. I'm a retard in the grand scheme of things. But people think I'm a retard for other reasons. I know I'm a fucking idiot in the grand scheme of things. They think I'm a fucking idiot for different things. It's part of subconscious, part of why I get annoyed. It's like just as an example. Just as an example, it's like I posted the bullshit talking about the planets yesterday. Just a few words on the simulation bullshit, and this person he said you're Aaron lad, which is Aaron actually. Look at my name, right? It is Aaron, right? It's not Aaron. You're Aaron lad. The world is watching and listening to our convos. And it's not the person. It's not the person. It's the fact that people seem to say things like, I've not got a clue. And I think I don't have a clue. But almost like, is that supposed to trigger some type of thought? Like, the world is watching and listening to our convo. Well, maybe if the world is watching, maybe it needs to fucking read a little bit. It's like that person the other day, who said, Asmondo as talking to a mutual friend, Asmondo the Great, King of Sorba. I think, who are you patronising? Who are you making fun of? Who are you ridiculing? What do you mean, King of Sorba? And the fact that he sent the message twice, the system sent it twice for this reason. That person said, I was having a laugh with, I was having a laugh with the lass. I thought, you sat in my fucking house taking the piss out of me. Now, in your own house, take the piss out of me as much as you like. When you sat together in your private house to talk to that person, you can take the piss, you can say what you want, you can ridicule me. I've done that, we've all done it. But while you sat in my fucking living room and you're taking the piss out of me, you're mocking me, you ridicule me, You just can't do that, can you? But I am obviously missing the point with this. It's just a bit frustrating. Well, you know, when you're showing people, you know, that we don't have free will, we have no choice. Right, life is a highly advanced simulation, and you're talking to me like I really don't have a fucking clue what this town is or what it's about. You really believe I was fucking born yesterday? Maybe I was in some dimension. Are these people really thinking that I'm in here licking my windows? I'm retard. Like I'm some kind of fucking spastic. You don't need to clarify that just like yesterday and the day before. I don't need to clarify that, do you people? I don't mean to be offensive when I use words like that, you people. It is people that make the word offensive. It's not the word itself. It is society, it's political correctness. It's how people depict these people, make fun of these people. It's not the word. It's the people. Words are just, how can a word be offensive? How does a word describe something outside of the word in the physical sense of how people perceive words? It's not the word, is it?